That's my ticabus ticket. I got a little bit less than a month, right around a month left before I used the return portion of it. Uh, I came out of Panama about 5 months ago, and the ticket left Panama 11 a.m. bus, and then went to San Jose, and then caught a different 6 a.m. bus the next morning from San Jose to Managua, Nicaragua. So yeah, that's from Panama through Costa Rica into Nicaragua. And so my return ticket is coming up real soon. That's a 6 a.m. bus out of Managua through San Jose, Costa Rica. And I change buses in San Jose at 11 p.m. and then head out from there back to Panama City. So it was 6 months in between the departure ticket and the return ticket. It was a good 6 months in Nicaragua, and at this point I'm ready to get back to Panama, and then from there, who knows. I paid $160.10 for a round trip ticket from Panama City all the way to Managua City in Nicaragua through 3 countries. And while in Nicaragua, I took a short trip on local buses to Honduras. And El Salvador was nearby, but I didn't really need to go. Tica bus goes all the way from Panama through Costa Rica, through Nicaragua, into Honduras and El Salvador. And where they stop in Honduras and El Salvador, you find transfer buses into Mexico. So the whole of Central America is covered from Panama to Mexico. I don't think ticabus itself goes into Mexico, but their final stop in Honduras does go to a place where you transfer the Mexican bus lines. Ticabus, we had border stop at Costa Rica. For us it was a Sunday, so we had a long wait for nobody because nobody was there on Sunday, and eventually someone did come, as far as officials to process our visas and transit visas and search our luggage. And then the Nicaragua border, we got there on a Monday, and it was kind of busy, but either way our bus load was the big traffic of the moment, and they took everybody's passport from the bus, and everybody had to put up about $13 each, and they put everything into a giant plastic, what normally is used as a trash bag, and then they handed it over to the immigration officials, and they did a bulk processing of visas. Bus ride is long, 30 hours. There's no way to get around it. Airfare is unusually expensive if you're comparing to the United States and maybe places in Asia. But while you're on the bus there, the international buses are luxury buses. We're talking about world standard. I rode long haul buses in the US. I rode them in Asia, in Thailand, and so I can say that ticabus is a good standard bus, and that's going by world standard. They serve food. They stop at various places along the way other than the major cities like Panama City, San Jose, Managua. They stop at places in between where people want to get picked up and go on the trip also. And so sometimes the bus is less full and sometimes the bus is full. Some legs of the trip I had 2 seats to myself and could lay down in them. And then, for me, the final leg of the trip, I had someone sitting next to me. They were assigned the seat next to me, so I had to sit up in my seat and, do the trip like that. But the whole trip, over 30 hours, I had a more relaxed leg of the trip when the bus was less full. And I said they serve food on the bus. At one of the border stops I stopped and got off and bought some food, and I could have survived without it. The bus food is just enough, not all that much, and not all that great, but not that bad either. The buses do have toilets, but the toilets are limited to short course action, if you know what I mean. They don't like number 2, and the signs are on the bus to say that. And there are stops along the way that may allow other toilet options. How often that is, I don't know. Definitely at the big cities. Whenever you get to a big city, there's definitely a long stop, and when you're in the biggest city, you're most likely to be changing buses from there. So yeah, they told me 6 a.m., 6 p.m. buses, 11 a.m., 11 p.m. buses. Throughout the major stops on their route. If you're getting picked up in between in small cities or towns in between their normal ports or stations, then the times are different. But when you go to the main station in Panama, which is at Albrook, then you're looking at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. schedule. When you're in San Jose, I was there during the 6 a.m. 6 p.m. Bus changes, but I'm assuming in San Jose they have 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. also. And Managua, I'm assuming they have that also. Oh, on the bottom of the ticket, I caught a 11 a.m. bus out, but they wrote in on my stub 9 a.m., 10 a.m. As an idea of when to get there, because that's the time when they start lining people up, checking their tickets, and loading the luggage and everything, and all that has to be done by the time they're ready to go. So 11 a.m. is the time to go, and that's the time they're ready to go. So all the stuff you do before getting ready to go is done between 9 and 11 a.m. Anyway, the important thing is to look at that. It says ticabus, and you can type in on Google or whatever internet browser you use and type in ticabus. You could type in ticabus Panama, and ticabus website will come up. I reserved my ticket way before I actually bought it, and they requested that I fax the information sheet of my passport, you know, with my name, date of birth, all the things they use to identify me, and I faxed it to them, and they kept it in their computer files. And when I showed up months later ready to buy my ticket the day before I left, they had me, and they sold me the ticket, and the next morning I was there, boarded the bus, and ready to go. $160.10. I paid 5 months ago for a round-trip ticket all the way from Panama City through Costa Rica to the final stop in Managua, Nicaragua, and I've enjoyed my time here. I got about a month ago before I used the return portion to do the same trip in reverse. Alright, hope the information helps, but the information you want with all the details from the horse's mouth or from ticabus themselves is you type in ticabus on the internet. If you need to, type in ticabus Panama, and their time, schedules, destination, you know, all of that, prices and so on. And there are other options for buses to ride, but I have no reason to choose anything other than ticabus. I think they're the most extensive, and the other companies don't really get any better. Now, it's a good thing to have the other companies there during the times when you want to buy a ticabus ticket, but they're full, and they don't have a bus available for you at the time that you want to go. Then you may want to look at the other bus companies and see who has something for you. Now, the hard way to do it is just to take the local buses all the way through you know, Panama to the border town, and then cross the border, and then take the local buses all the way through from town to town, changing buses all the way through Costa Rica to the next border, and then cross the border on foot, and then from town to town through Nicaragua and so on. But oh man, I'd be lucky to survive that. And there are really true stories of people riding the local buses in the overcrowded conditions and getting suffocated to death, and having been dead on the bus ride, standing up the whole time, but it's so packed that they just didn't have room to fall over and look dead. And so nobody knew that the foreign traveler was dead until it was time to, you know, get off, and finally room was made for her to slump over and, you know, look dead. So yeah, I like the luxury buses because they're good at not overcrowding. They may pack the bus, but not dangerously like is common in Central America. Alright, that's about all the info I can show.